All right, we're on. And thank you again, Chet, for coming to Lenny Godfrey Straight No Chaser. That was so much fun. It was,
Yeah.
I was lost in the conversation. I was lost in you're telling the stories. And I'm listening to you listen. I looked over and I went, oh my gosh, we got to get to New York City. We got to hurry up and get to New York City. Colorado was so interesting, but I had to get you to New York so I could get to talk to about all those wonderful shows. I really wanted to get those titles in so people can start listening for them and looking for them, because it's a great idea, just a wonderful idea,
Yeah.
that you're doing. Absolutely wonderful. Did you have fun?
Yes, I did. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a great thing. I really do enjoy it. I feel very, very blessed to have been asked to participate on a radio show, and because of
Yes.
that, then said, you know what, I think I'd like to see if I can learn how to do this, and it's so people friendly that you can do it. And then I
Yes.
try to do the follow up because in every conversation, people always want to know who the person was that was
Right.
speaking. Even
Right.
though radio is a fabulous thing, we are accustomed to that visual.
Yeah, we are. We are.
So I finished that off with a little bit of that, and then people look forward to it every week. We're just gonna have to have you come back though, because there was still a whole lot that I didn't get a chance. I
Yeah.
mean, look, I have notes, 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 notes. So you can notes, 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 notes. 2 pages worth of notes. And I thought, well, I want to hear the story. I don't I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to, I want to hear this. I want to hear what's going on. And it's so interesting, your background. The real important thing too for me, not the only important, but the one of the important points was to talk about your mother and her influence on your education, because young people need to really know that people like you exist. You're an engineer. More
Yeah.
everybody thinks that, what I do for a living. She does this and that, and she sings and dances and the director and da. That's all very glamorous. What
Yeah.
you don't realize is how hard I had to work, what classes I had to take, the degrees that I have to have.
Yeah.
And I really try to emphasize that those people who say, oh, and I never took a lesson in my life, that is not the ideal situation.
True. No, it isn't. It isn't. And it's not sustaining, you know?
It isn't sustaining.
Yeah.
As much as I love some of the vocalists that we've had in our lifetime, some of them passed away, a couple of them we still have. You listen to them vocally, and I can tell that they don't know how to take care of their voices because
Right.
they learn at a church, how to sing in the church, as I did. But then I studied with Dr. Northern at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
So, I know how to still do VC Darty, in the morning when I'm warming up. That's my warm, that and the Lord's Prayer. I mean, so, and I was doing that when I was 16. So to be able to sustain that is a very
Yeah.
important thing. And that was to hear about your mother, and to hear that your father went to Morgan. And we have
I did.
couple of people who are Morgan alums. So they
Ah,
really love that, and a couple of Howard alums. So
yeah.
the educational aspect of the conversation is so very, very important. It was. But getting you to, I mean, that journey that you have had from Baltimore, been out to Colorado, then back to the
Yeah.
East Coast, and
It is.
all of the things that you're doing now. So I didn't get a chance. See, this is what I wanted to say. What's the latest thing that you're doing? So let's talk about it on this video so that, we
Yeah.
don't radio.
So we're doing Penny and I, she's doing immigrant song, and she's also involved in a group called Modi, Music on the Inside. And what they do is they raise money to get to prisoners, to people who are incarcerated, music training. So they have these artists volunteer to be mentors,
Mhm.
and they provide instruments for the incarcerated. And I've met so many people that when they've come out, they're just transformed by the fact that they're part of something. They're part of the art. They're developing, and
Yes, to come out of being incarcerated that long and come out into our society and not have a connection. It's so
Yeah.
funny you say that, but I mean, people who start in our business, that's one of the things. They come into the business and there's no connection. And one of the things that Essence of Acting is a group that makes that connection. When you connect with the people when they're on the inside, how often is that connection? Do you do it every week?
Well, they were doing it a lot more during COVID. All right. Now it's transitioned that they're going to start doing the exchanges and all with Zoom. All right, in these facilities. But what they've done in the interim, they developed something called music while we're inside. So this is you should be on this thing. So every Sunday they have a collection of artists who perform at 6 o'clock from wherever they are. They could be at their home, they could be in the front yard, whatever, and they give a performance and they're raising money, but we're just locked into this program where we get to see these artists and they're giving these fresh performances, and it's so intimate because most of them are doing it from their homes.
Yes.
And I mean, one time I'm on there, Ron Carter gets on and he's at home, he's got the washing machine behind him and he's doing the best, Chris McBride, same thing, So it's like and it's just so beautiful, and so they've been doing that every Sunday at 6 o'clock.
You have to let me know.
Yeah.
I could do something a cappella. So
there you go.
So that would be good.
We'll hook you up.
I always get something. I have the accompaniment there that I can do, but it would be a lot of fun. I think it's so wonderful to be able to gift the art that you've been gifted.
Yes.
And never to forget that it was a gift.
Yes.
That there was a choice that you could be the ones that didn't get a gift.
There you go.
And then you should gift it.
There you go. All right.
One of the important things that I've learned over the years, and I, sometimes I, wear myself a little thin, but that's okay. I'm getting there. I'm learning, how not to make it too thin. But wonderful idea. That's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
What about and it's just music? Is it spoken word or is it?
That one is mostly music. Sometimes it's spoken word, all right, and sometimes it's spoken word with accompaniment. But it's very, very, it's thrilling. I mean, you get these fresh performances and a collection of people, and usually they have about a dozen performers. And it's always a different mix every Sunday.
Wonderful to have. With Zoom, I think the issue with Zoom is that you can't really do a lot with Zoom. You can do it live, but Zoom brings about a little difficulties with syncing and everything when you try to do something musically on Zoom. That's the only.
Yeah. And it's a latency issue.
Yes.
And so there've been these studies, and now especially performers are getting used to the setups where they're not trying to do it wireless. They have to do it directly with the LAN connection.
Yep.
Rebooting everything before they do it, and they're.
It's like this. You film it. You can film it, and then share it on screen. So that so people have it. It's
all kinds of tricks.
And then get on Zoom and say, now I'm sharing this performance with you. Boom.
So, but if you're doing the performance and you're contained, so it's hard to do it when you're performing, and somebody else is on Zoom trying to perform with you. And the latency issues come in, and you have to mitigate those. But if you're doing a performance, as long as you're doing a performance contained in your
entity, yes,
everything's smooth when it goes out. Yeah. So now that we're opening up a little bit and people are getting vaccinated, and got my 2 shots.
I got mine too. Yes, I got my 2 shots, and I just got it in fact, a week ago today. I got it before I did the show last week. And so I just got one more week before I can really, they say you got to let it just stay 2 weeks and, do all of that. And so Carl and I, we're vaccinated and
Oh, nice, nice.
yep.
Yeah, well, some of these Zooms they've had they've had people actually a full band playing out in the front yard and
Yes.
space and fresh air and everything else. And it's wonderful, you know.
There's a program here where I live where the symphonies called Symphony Serenades, and
Okay.
are what they're proposing is that there are concerts on people's properties. And
Yes.
maybe you can get sponsors to sponsor a community to do it in a park if people don't have
Yeah.
property. That just to bring it to the people until we're absolutely sure that we could bring this
There you go.
inside. We know we have the outdoors gives us a little bit more protection, but we're not really sure about the ventilation on the inside yet.
Right. Exactly.
Start that up again. Even if all of us are vaccinated inside, we still don't know quite.
Right. We can't afford to be reckless, cannot afford that. There's a consequence to that, and it's not good.
I'm a proponent of not inviting people. That you're dealing with people's lives now. Like when you're doing a show and it's an ice storm, and I say to people, if I'm doing my cabaret and it's ice storm, I said, let's cancel the show early because I don't want anybody trying to drive in the ice and get in the accident.
Right.
Come and see me, even if I'm at the residence. If I live upstairs from the club that I'm singing in, it's them getting there.
Yeah.
I'd rather just use it for a nice rehearsal and then double up at the end, something. The
Yeah.
safety of the audience to me is primary.
Yeah, we don't want to be Trumpian, Get everybody together in a place, just because you want to, and then you're having people die a couple of weeks later. And
there've been many deaths associated with a lot of people having these gatherings, and
yes, indeed.
all really be very, very careful.
Yes.
Well, my friend, I can ask for no more, but thank you so very, very much.
Thank you for the invitation, and it's so good to see you.
I'm glad to see you too. I haven't seen you in a while,
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah. But God's been good. Woo.
Yeah. Last time was Studio 54.
Yeah. And I thank you for coming, both of you. Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun seeing people for a very long time.
You lit it up. Stole it. You know you did.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna be modest on that point, but cast full of very, very talented and beautiful people, and I'm so glad to know them. We've lost a couple of them since then.
Yeah.
We've lost a couple of them since then. Aaron Ramsey, and so it's been difficult. Getting older is a little difficult. We know that's inevitable. Janice, we also lost him, but we will forge ahead.
Okay.
We will, keep the music going. I'm trying to. There's a song called "You and Me" that it's a song that talks about how people want everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
How you want, and I'll just do this a cappella. Passion without pain, sunshine without rainy days. Well, it doesn't work like that. We have a little pain with the passion and the rain with the sun.
There you go. Take it all.
Yep. Take care of yourself, my friend.
Baby.
All right.
So much.
We'll be in touch. Let me know about that program because I'm serious.
All right.
A little bit there. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.